All right, well, speaking of Twitter, we should get started with our stories. In a sigh of relief heard around the world, Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey has announced that the company will not get rid of the 140-character limit on tweets. Speaking on the Today Show, Dorsey told Carson Daly and Matt Lauer that the 140-character limit allows for of-the-moment brevity. So I watched this segment. It was quite interesting. He made some other points. His mom's favorite person to follow on Twitter is the Pope. And also he said that he likes making money when the Kardashians tweet.
I thought you were just going to stop with making money.
That is the reason to own Twitter. Yeah. The number one reason to own Twitter is the Kardashians.
Yes. Well, it was sort of that Matt Lauer question. He's like, well, you make money every time she tweets. And he's like, yes, I like that.
Yes, I do. So, Liberty, as far as keeping a social network like Twitter to 140 characters, a characteristic that really has, over the years, defined the social network and kind of, compared to the rest, it's one of the only networks that really does this. Think it's a smart move, or were you kind of hoping for a broader opening of the update limit?
Well, I'm a bit biased. I am coming to you live from a Twitter shirt. So
That's true.
Yes, I'm a bit biased on this. And I just had this conversation at GDC the other day, and we were talking about what social networks are really relevant in a particular space. And someone actually had the nerve to say, Twitter's not that relevant and I don't see them going anywhere. And they're just, and I go, oh my God, that couldn't be further from the truth. And for me, I am a strong believer in Twitter. I love everything that's going on over at Twitter. And when they brought up before that they may expand the 140 characters, I thought, oh my gosh, that is the worst mistake ever. That is the worst pivot. That is terrible. So to hear that Jack has definitely said, hey, we're sticking at 140. That solidifies Twitter's history. And I think that solidifies the platform because we already are getting used to the new changes, the new algorithm changes of it showing us how our tweets are presented to us. And that kind of caused a little uproar a couple of weeks ago. And I think that to me was a great move on their part. So A+ for that. But definitely keeping at 140 is where we need to be because one, people are going to Twitter for relevant, current, active, live news. And that's all you need to say is a few sentences. It doesn't need to be a soliloquy. We can go to Medium for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's really interesting because I think he never really said that they were going to release the character limit. I think he had this, remember he tweeted with a note. It was like a screenshot of a note.
Yeah, which a lot of people do in order to go past the 140 character limit.
Yeah, so I think he was maybe saying that they would leave room for that. Like Facebook has their special notes, or I think it's called notes, where you can have it look better than just a Facebook post with no hard returns or with all hard returns. So yeah, I think, I don't know that they're not going to allow for some adjustment there, but it sounded like, they're never going to let anyone, let everyone just type whatever they want.
But in that regard, so when Jack Dorsey is actually releasing pretty relevant notes to the public and the press on Twitter using a screenshot of a block of text, and then they say they're sticking with 140, they're basically saying that this is an effective way to do that, to just take screenshots of text. But is it? I mean, I always kind of felt like it was a hacky way. Now, mind you, I actually do really like the 140 character limit. I think brevity is good, and it's one of the things that I enjoy about Twitter. Sometimes it can be a big pain in the butt because what I want to say is not easily pared down to 140 characters, but that's kind of the beauty of it. But I don't know, the taking a picture of a block of text just seems in some ways just hacky and limited. So I don't know I guess I don't know where I stand.
Well, I mean, when they introduced the quote tweet, I think that was key because you can, and for me, I have taken a picture, not just of, a different block of text, but actually of a tweet. And then I quote that particular tweet and you can, get more characters that way. But you're right, it's a hack. But I think that it is definitely imperative to that particular platform to stay on that route. Maybe someone will come up with a better hack or a different hack. Maybe Jack will in the future, who knows? But as long as it stays at 140, I think that's the key.
Yeah. So I know you use Snapchat as well, and we talked about that last time you were on, but would you say that there is a definite place where you would use Snapchat versus Twitter and Twitter versus Snapchat?
Well, you know what? I think that's an interesting question. Can you compare them, Twitter versus Snapchat? For me, Snapchat is definitely an area where you are pushing information and a limited number of people are able to receive it and retrieve it later. And I think the main thing with Twitter is that it's going out to the masses and they can receive it at any time, and it's not necessarily deleted. And I know a lot of people don't like Snapchat for that particular fact, but there is a place for Snapchat and there is a place for Twitter. You don't have to compare them between the two. The really cool thing about Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook is they all target separate markets and separate needs. So I think that they're in their own separate categories.
Sure.
Yeah, I feel like my family, my dad uses Twitter, my mom uses Facebook, my sister uses Instagram, and my daughter uses Snapchat. And that's
There you go.
And my husband uses nothing, so I have to communicate with him in the real world.
You need a combining,
Which I guess is the way it should
combining force of social networks, like a Voltron of social networks.
Yes, yeah.
To come together and save you.
Yeah.